Big up simulated dumplings. I don't know how long the stream is gonna stay on. My internet has been very, very volatile. So this is pretty much just me stress testing, seeing if I can get it to actually stay on. Because I've just had no luck, bro. None. This is as long as it stayed stable since 9:30 last night. I called my ISP, bro. I called my ISP, and they literally told me that there was nobody on staff that knew how to help me. And their only option was, well, we're sorry. Pay your bill. It's like, motherfuckers. I pay my bills. I have no forward balance on any of my bills ever. And you have the audacity to tell me that there's nothing you can do and then I just need to pay my bill. You can eat my ass. The fattest part of my ass, ISP. Fucking ridiculous. $500. $500 a month for a package plan, right? And they're telling me, oh hey, no, fucking just make my shit work. That's it. That's all. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Just make my shit work. But big up simulated dumplings. I'm sorry I dumped that on you. But since it's working, I was.
That's so good.
Uh-oh. Okay, it went back up.
Good.
It went down
Now I
again.
want to take a bite of.
So I don't know. The
Okay.
Comcast guy is really getting to me. Because I had this whole thing last night, right?
It's so good.
We were going to play online in Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, I was going to get my ass kicked. We were going to have a fun time. But no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't. That's the only thing I wanted to do last night was play a little bit because I ordered a pizza, right? I bought the game and we were gonna play and eat pizza just like it was in the 90s, right? But no, my internet had to crap out. I'm actually angry. Like, I'm actually angry, bro. I pay my bills every month, and they have the audacity to say, well, there's nothing we could do. Maybe try making a payment. I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? You're telling me my service isn't gonna work, but you want me to give you more money? In what imagination is that the process? You know, you remember that one episode of South Park? This is how I envisioned my my ISP last night.
Hey guys, can I help you?
Hello. There are certain networks that we see as harmful to our families, and we want the D network
The channel
and package them.
give you the number. Dang it, guess you have to
This
deal
right
with
here.
our packages.
Can we talk to your supervisor, please?
Oh, sure. Hey, David.
This
Hi,
is
is there a problem
literally the
here?
process in which I went through last night
We want specific networks dropped from our cable.
until like
Oh, you
midnight,
have to pay for
bro.
the bundle. You can't just pay for what you want to watch. Darn it.
You mean that we're forced to pay for the Oprah channel?
I guess if you don't want to be forced to pay for Oprah, you'd have to shut off your cable altogether.
Fine, then we'll shut our cable off altogether.
This
Hey,
is
Mitch,
literally what
when
I
can you get out
said.
to shut off some cable boxes? Oh, man, it's
This
going to
is
be like
literally
3
what they did.
weeks. There's a whole plug I have to pull out. It's like 4 inches long. 3 weeks, huh? Okay, is 3 weeks from now okay with you guys?
No, that's way too long.
Bro!
Oh, it is? Oh, jeez, that's terrible.
God damn it, I just don't want my parents to murder each other.
That's literally what I said. God damn it, I just want my service to work. That's it. That's all. I pay my bill, I give you my money, make my service work. And this is what they told me. Oh, you just gotta kind of roll with the package that you have. I was like, excuse me, I have your most premier premium package. I get all my shit premium, right? That's what they told me. And now all of the sudden, you need to upgrade. There's nothing I can upgrade to. This isn't IntelliLink. Just make my shit work. Oh man, I'm still mad. I am still mad. But anyway, this was my ISP last night telling me that they couldn't fix my shit. But anyway, I mean, it's still not fixed, but it's super glued and duct taped together for the moment. Okay, so a little bit of context here. We are watching DarkSydeDrill play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and have a pizza party by himself.
For Super Jacks, you like pizza? Well, pizza these nuts. Sure. Thanks to Cap for the Super Jack. Wow. Love this pizza. So
I love this
second
pizza.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play more games, and over the course of the day, if I get hungry, I'm just going to go downstairs and get more pizza and eat it live on the stream while I'm playing games. Okay? Okay.
I always find it funny when DSP's like, there's no authentic Italian pizza on the West Coast. The the store I go to get my pizza is literally made by an Italian immigrant. It can't get more authentic than that. Dude, it's true. It's true. My only other option is Xfinity. So it's either deal with a demon or deal with the devil. It's like, what am I supposed to do? My hands are tied. My hands are literally tied. I don't know what I can do. I don't even know how long it's going to stay stable. But I still can't believe they had the audacity to say, well, we've exhausted all of our options. This is when your bill's due. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the monopolies these companies have, bro.
Look at that. I said crust would hold up. Didn't I say that? The crust holds up. That's how you can tell it's good crust. So I can't speak to it. I've never had Costco pizza. Pretty sure they don't have wood-fired pizzas at Costco.
That's not true. The Costco, in my neighborhood, or not in my neighborhood, in the next town over from me has a wood-fired pizza.
Yummy.
I don't know if that's, like, standard in all of them, though, but I know mine does. Thanos is in this game?
With a piece of garlic bread. You don't mess around, man. A crunchy onion. A big ass chain.
Ah, my coffee cup is right in the way. Ah!
What is the most expensive pizza I've ever eaten? It's what I just told you. In downtown Seattle, there's a place called Lolcows. You order a whole pizza. It's so insanely huge. You're not expected to eat it. Even two people wouldn't be expected to eat the pizza. It's giant. Okay? I did get one once. It was $50.
It's Captain Flea Market.
I ate 2 pieces, and then the person I was with ate 2 pieces, and then we saved more than half the pizza and took it home with us. Flavor of a really good crust. Seriously.
Thanos is so weird. Why would he run that way?
So good. Shit, no. You don't have it with that. Yummy. I can't stop eating. That is good. It is so good. I can't stop.
I really suck at this.
I'm honestly glad I only brought 2 pieces in here. If I brought more, I'd be eating it all. I wouldn't be able to control myself. When I'm eating great pizza, I can't stop. I seriously can't stop. All right.
How do I switch my character?
So delicious.
Okay, there it is.
Oh.
Dude, I only played this game one time when I was a kid. Then I got it returned back to the rental place, the Blockbuster.
Just served Golden another super chat saying, last one, I promise I love pizza. Is the answer. It is
right?
the answer in the future. Thoughts on New York style versus Chicago style. And they're both very, very good. Yummy.
Okay.
I'm gonna just finish this off. I'm gonna hammer it, guys. I can't stop.
He's really fat. I hate watching people eat, like, by default. So him just
whatever
munching.
their biggest size is. And like I said, I think it's like 8 giant slices. I had
8
2.
slices for
My wife had
$50,
2.
bro?
And likely we'll just save the rest later today as I'm streaming. If I'm hungry, I'll go grab a piece, you know? So that's the good thing. You get so much left over with the giant pizza.
That's a negatory. A nay for me, dog.
Guys, thank you for watching. DSP tries it. The Rock Wood-Fired Pizza. Pride and joy. It is absolutely delicious. 2 thumbs up. 4.75 out of 5. Only they would contact me for consulting. I'd give them the actual finishing touches to make that the best pizza. But, you know, they do it their way. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching.
Was that?
Thanks for the support. Awesome.
Does this guy seriously think that he just is like God's gift to fucking pizza? He's like, they need to consult me, and I would wrap it up in a nice little bow for them. It's like they're a franchised business. I have a Rock's Pizza near me, bro, and you're sitting here saying they need to consult you for what? How to be a dumbass? Oh. He really does, dude. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna watch. Oh, hey, there we go. There's something. Like, this was completely off the cuff. I have no plans.
2 months ago, Dr.
So
Disrespect was eating a cupcake.
I'm gonna eat my cupcake and I'm gonna celebrate. Nothing you're gonna do about it.
I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake. When he was exposed by an ex-Twitch employee for messaging a minor and allegedly trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. Doc responded by admitting he inappropriately messaged a minor and then he fled on vacation for 2 months.
I'm actually tired of being on social media.
Upon his return, he would say that he purposely made himself look like a pedo to bait journalists. He's been playing chess this whole time.
You also said the word minor, Cody.
Uh-huh.
I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement. Edited, etc.
Bro, get the fuck out of here, man. You said it, right? Verbatim. You put it out there into the ether that you had been messaging a minor. You said it. You edited it out of your content. Of your post. And then you put it back because people called you on it. You were trying to hide it. Shut the fuck up, guy. You're lying. And I'm sorry, I don't tolerate lying from Darkside fucking Phil. I don't tolerate the lying from LTG. I don't tolerate lying from you Lolcows, okay? So guess what? You said it, you admitted it, and there's no walking it back. You did it. Shut the fuck up, accept responsibility, and go off into your hidey hole. And let's pray and hope that you aren't perverted enough. That you aren't stupid enough to do anything like that again. You fucking dumbass. You literally won the lottery. You won the lottery. You made money hand over fist doing something as picking up a controller. Something as simple as picking up a controller, and you had the audacity, the unmitigated fucking gall to sit here and lie to people about what you did. And you want to put the blame on to everyone else. No. You did it. It's not the journalists that were sitting on the fucking whisper messages texting the minor. That was you. And it does not matter, guy. It does not matter if her state says the age of consent is 16, you're not in her state. If your state says that the age of consent is 18, you're committing a crime, you dumbass. If your state says that anything other than 16 is the legal age, you're committing a crime. Moron. Texting a child in a state where it's legal from a state where it's not is a crime. You're a dumbass.
Just to make sure these so-called
Big up,
journalists
Ronnie Blaze.
pick
So,
up-
dude, I had a whole fucking side mission last night with my ISP. I basically threatened to drop my service that I've had for like the last 5 years, right? And they basically told me, cool story, bro. Make sure to pay your bill. Dude, I was livid. I was livid. And it barely, I don't know what the fuck happened. They bubble gummed and super glued it back together or some shit. But it's been stable for 20 minutes. Oh yeah, the manager and the teller were rubbing their nipples like it was South Park. Dude, I can't. They have monopolies over entire communities. Why is this okay? Exactly, Ronnie, that's what I'm saying. He was making money doing nothing and could legitimately call it an empire, right? Because he was defeated at Twitch, he went to YouTube and rose again. But that entire time, he was the villain. He was the bad guy. The entire time. Pulling the wig over all of our eyes, bro. He was the bad guy. I don't know how Christopher Nolan, right? I don't know how they thought of this line. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's exactly what happened here. They are all scumbags. All of them. It doesn't matter if you play Minecraft. It doesn't matter if you're playing Sonic. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're all a bunch of fucking weirdos. Why at all would you think, as a fully grown man over the age of 18, why would you think messaging a 16-year-old, regardless of if it's legal in their state, would be okay? Why would you think that you should do that? As a grown adult man with children, with a wife at home, bro, what is wrong with you? What is wrong in your brain? Sitting up here telling us, it was a 4D chess move. No, the fuck it wasn't.
Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples
for
right
sure.
here. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming.
And for the second time this year, the most incriminating part of the Dr. Disrespect allegations is coming from Dr. Disrespect himself. Acknowledging that he did message the minor.
I'm not denying the exchange
Mac
of
doesn't
whispers,
miss.
champs.
It wasn't
Nail on the
appropriate,
head,
but she
bro.
was above the age of consent in her state, so it's fine.
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received.
Despite all of this, Dr. Disrespect came back to a loving audience that ate up his story. Over 200,000 live viewers.
I love the Champions Club. That's one thing that just stands out. We're actually real people here.
And it's because of the horrendous way Twitch and gaming journalists have handled this entire situation. This is a
Exactly.
story filled with lies, backstabs, and demeaning people for asking the right questions.
People want
Show the message. Release the messages. Show the messages.
what are we in?
Yeah, Phil. Why don't you go and release those messages with Panda Re, Phil? You fucking lolcow.
second grade?
But ultimately, it does provide us with enough information to finally have the full story when it comes to Dr. Disrespect's Twitch ban. It's disturbing, it's gross, like the crust and dust in your ancient computer.
Man, I'm
that
angry. I'm still angry
time.
from my ISP. Yeah, throw that bitch out the
like
window.
Anymore. Meta PCs is the gold standard for pre-built gaming computers, putting together some of the cleanest builds out there. And my favorite part about Meta is how you can tailor the build to your liking, picking out the exact graphics card and CPU without having to waste time searching for a good deal online.
I love my laptop so much, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I do, that I'm actually considering skipping not only the PlayStation 5 Pro, but the PlayStation 6, and just going full PC. What's the point? What is the point of having a console that's just a limited PC that costs as much as a PC? He could pay anyone, dude, anyone. Oh, bro, it is. It is. I love my PlayStation. I love my PlayStation 5. I play it all the time. It's my most used appliance in my house. Bar none. Hundreds and hundreds of hours on my PS5, PS4, PS3. And honestly, they're pushing it, and it's too far for me this time. $700? $700. My PC, the one I have right now, can do everything my PS5 can do to the letter. Plus editing, streaming, content creation, animation. It can stream videos. It can do everything my PS5 can do. To like the shining letter. While my PS5 is still just restricted to playing games and soft editing in their share factory, which is a complete joke. I think the more logical thing would be for Sony to try and put out some kind of PC instead of a PlayStation 6. Just brand their PC department as PlayStation and put out PlayStation computers. I don't fucking know. But I don't see PlayStation staying around in its current form for very much longer after the PlayStation 5 Pro. That is ridiculous.
And the customization is amazing. This is the PC I received from Meta a year ago, and hot damn is it sexy.
Oh, that is pretty clean.
This thing's quality, and I've been so happy I bought my laptop from them using my own dime. And you could customize everything, custom printed graphics card, cases, backplates, so it's the way you want inside and out. It's beautiful, and it runs Premiere and After Effects better than any Apple laptop I've owned. It's a beast. But if you don't have time to wait, Meta has a wide array of ready-to-ship PCs.
I think the thing that's kept me from PCs is I'm completely tech illiterate when it comes to things like that. I can take my PlayStation 5 apart to clean it and then put it back together. But that's as far as I know how to do anything, right? I'm not taking the cooler off. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not going down to the bare bones. You know, I peel the plates off. I take it apart with the screws and then I screw it back together. That's all, you know? So it's going to be an adventure. We're going to learn, but I think it might be time to leave the console behind.
That leave the next business day after they're ordered. Everything is clean, organized, and ready to go right out of the box. All I had to do was plug in the graphics card, which Meta has a step-by-step YouTube video on, and even a manual to help me out. Look, if you're gonna be spending PC money, make sure it's done by people who take pride in their work. They have financing for everyone, whether you have great credit or no credit at all. So use code Willie with your link in the description to get a special discount when you order your Meta PC. Thank you, Meta PCs, for sponsoring this video. I find it hilarious that Doc is trying to frame himself as a super genius at the moment when his entire downfall is due to his own actions. When the Dr. Disrespect allegations first aired, most reasonable people were willing to wait for Doc's response before forming an opinion. At this time, former Twitch staff was giving testimonies and it seemed like the messages were going to leak, so Dr. Disrespect gave a statement coming clean. I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the effing bullshit. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind those messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned a bit too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. So when Doc was 35 years old and actively cheating on his wife, he admits to inappropriately messaging a minor. Yeah, you just gotta read in between the lines a little bit there to see what's happening. His own friends abandoned him.
He was messaging a minor, and it would sometimes lead to teeter on inappropriate if he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent. I cannot support that.
He was texting an underage
Nor
girl.
should you.
And it went weird sometimes, you know, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right?
That should be a wrap. The problem is the messages never leaked. The people who saw the messages spoke anonymously about it, saying the girl made aware that they were underage during the conversation, after which Doc reiterated that it was no problem and continued on. There was no confusion. Messages sent out here were no less graphic or sexually explicit in nature than before, saying it was more than the word inappropriate might indicate. And although it provides some insight, it's anonymous. No public-facing person has seen the messages. Not Cody, not the journalist who spearheaded the story. Its credibility can only go so far. In fact, Slasher, the main journalist behind this story, would go on his Son stream and spew out unverified information that would be proven wrong less than 2 hours later.
I did get a DM about an hour ago from someone who lives in Encientas, near Rancho Santa Fe. That is the area that Dr. Disrespect lives in.
And see, no, if Rich is responsible for the pictures in the Dropbox that he knew were there and kept them there inappropriately, then Doc is responsible for the inappropriate things that he said to a minor. I'm sorry, why are we making excuses? Oh, it was proven wrong less than 2 hours. I don't fucking care. He admitted to texting and sexting a minor. A minor, bro. I don't give a fuck what they have to say at this point. After he admitted it, I don't care. He doesn't deserve credibility. And he more than certainly doesn't deserve any benefit of the fucking doubt. Scrutinize every word he says to the letter. Don't give him an inch, because people like him will take the fucking mile. He's already trying. Hold his ass to the flames, bro. Cook him. Don't, oh, but nothing. Did he do it? Yes or no? He did it. Fuck him. End of story.
And he sent me a screenshot from his next door, which is in that area. And there is a comment that says, "We just saw Dr. Disrespect in handcuffs. He lives right there. I assume it has
bullshit.
Something to do with the accusation."
This allegation would be revealed as completely fabricated. This guy calls himself a journalist. He's the best thing to ever happen to Doc. So the stage was set for Dr. Disrespect's comeback. All he had to do was recontextualize his statement and call the Twitch staff liars. But what I didn't expect was him to incriminate himself even more. Him teasing his return was insane. First, he posted a picture of him playing chess. Doc, is you getting canceled for being a pedo a game to you? Is this all part of your plan, huh? People responded by showing that Doc was playing a kid. Doc would continue to tease that this was all part of his master plan. He wanted people to think he was a pedophile. He would change his Twitter wallpaper to a bobber, with his tweet admitting to the allegations being the bait. It was at this point I realized that Dr. Disrespect eats crayons, and he's hoping that we all eat crayons too. This master plan of his makes no sense. He thinks we're all stupid. The day before his stream, he posted a hype video of him driving a boat, teasing that he's coming back to streaming. People would joke that he's returning from Epstein's Island. Doc did not like that. His return stream was huge. When I was watching, it peaked at over 200.
Bro, they're cooking his ass. I'm coming back in a boat. This motherfucker's coming back from Epstein Island. They cooked you, and it didn't even take effort, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
20,000 live viewers. The VOD is sitting at over 3 million. Everyone is dying to know, what is Doc's defense? It's him playing word games, defending himself from allegations that were never made. He addresses the allegations as if they're a joke.
Elephant in the room, Doc. We're waiting.
Oh my god. Oh god. It's the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the thing ever.
Just relax, man.
He spends most of the time being mad at Cody for leaking why he was banned.
Cody, why do this? What was the point? And you knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak
he's a
the
rat.
reported reason Twitch
He's a
banned
rat.
me.
So what he's saying
in
has to be some
2020.
sort of truth if he's a
Well,
rat.
I mean, for what?
The problem isn't that Cody leaked it. The problem is that Dr. Disrespect let people find out this way.
Holy
Bro, you had
shit.
4 years to tell people, and
Holy
instead you let
shit.
them believe in all of these false conspiracies. You were being sneaky about it. He threatens to sue Cody.
Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the 2-time? Did you not know the...
Did you not understand the repercussions of lying about what you did and then trying to hide it by editing your comment only for the internet to take absolute aim on your ass and cook you from 10 miles away, bro? They got you. Dead to fucking rights, homeboy. You're a pedo. And it doesn't matter if her state said, oh, 16 is legal. It's a child, bro. You're a fucking adult. A grown-ass man. Rich. With a beautiful wife. A family. Could get any fucking chick you want. And you go after a child? The fuck is wrong with you? You're an idiot. A dumbass. You had it all laid out in pretty bows with gold leaf. Literally women lighting up to be with you, and your dumb ass went after a fucking child? You're a retard. A fucking retard.
repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors?
Cody never signed anything and was simply relaying why Doc was banned from Twitch. Cody didn't lie anywhere. This is exactly why Doc was banned. Doc would never win a defamation case with this. Doc's main defense is to play semantics. When Doc gets accused of sexting a minor, he doesn't deny it. Instead, he redefines the word.
You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages?
Something you admitted it to.
Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is?
Doc's not denying sexually messaging a minor here. Instead, he redefines it to be about the legal definition of sexting, which is exchanging images or video. Out of the 3 allegations to come out against Dr. Disrespect, none of them accused him of sending or receiving pictures. Twitch Whispers don't even allow that. If he did that, he'd be in jail. Doc pretty much entirely sticks to a legal argument because that's all he's got. Hey guys, I may have flirted with a minor, but at least she didn't send me CP. What a defense.
You also said the word minor.
Then by that same logic, EDP is a free man. By that same logic, bro. By that same logic, he was set up. Right? He was set up, and I hope, I can't stress the air quotes right now. Set up, right? He wasn't. He did it. Like you dumbass. Now face the consequences as he did. You moron. Run along. Go eat your cupcakes somewhere the fuck else. Good lord.
Minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement.
I made sure that word was emphasized in my statement. No, you admitted it, you dumbass. You dumbass. Dumbass. If you wanted to emphasize it, I would have said these egregious rumors that I texted a minor in any sort of manner that wasn't upstanding is abhorrent, and I completely I disregard it. It's not true. I don't believe it. It didn't happen. You know, deny it. Don't say, yeah, it happened, but this is the legal definition, so I didn't do it. You did it, you fucking retard. Oh, man, he has me heated.
Just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it.
You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. What do you mean? I did this so the journalists would pick up on it. What does that mean? You admitted to being a pedophile so journalists would talk about you? That's a 4D chess move. Into the fucking trash, you dumbass. I'm gonna admit to it. Only for them to talk about me more. They would have talked about you regardless because of the allegations presented. Dum-dum. You didn't have to admit to anything. Yet here you are, admitting it. And now you have the audacity to run it back after you admitted it. You're a piece of fucking garbage. You had it all laid out for you. You had the yellow brick road. You had the family, the wife, the house, the cars, the life, all of it. And you're still a pedophile. There is something wrong in that brain.
Oh boy, did they ever, champs.
He is unironically going with the narrative that he purposely made himself look like a pedo. Am I supposed to believe that? He lost his gaming company, his bourbon company, was dropped from the 49ers, and was kicked out of the YouTube partner program. But hey, Doc, at least you got the journalist as well as most of the online world to think that you sexually messaged teenagers.
Yeah, what was the point?
Win.
You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever.
You admitted to sexting this person. For me to believe a single fucking word you say, present receipts.
This is the first and only time Doc ever outright denies an allegation. The anonymous Twitch employee alleged that they talked about meeting up at TwitchCon. Now, Doc has relied on a lot of technicalities for his defense, but he hasn't outright lied. In fact, he's actually been pretty truthful if you really pay attention. So he could be telling the truth here. We'd have to see the messages to come to a more accurate conclusion.
They conveniently left out is 1. Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting.
Again, this is Doc relying on legal technicalities to defend his actions. Nobody ever alleged that Doc did anything illegal. You don't have to do something illegal to get banned from a social media website, and you don't have to do something illegal for it to still be wrong.
Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me,
it's a
internally
child,
acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material, CSAM.
It didn't constitute child sex abuse. Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be abuse to be perverted, to be inappropriate for an adult man such as yourself to be texting a minor in such a manner. Use your adult brain. You want us all to believe you're an adult, yet you're coming at this as if you're a fucking child. Think like an adult. You admitted it, yet now you want people to think that you were lying about admitting it. Because you think that it's a 4D chess move to get one over on the reporters. So they would report that you're a pedophile. Make it make goddamn sense.
I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Wow, the bar is so low.
Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened.
He's doing it again. Nobody ever alleged that he exchanged photos. You can't exchange photos over Twitch whispers.
Yep.
Nobody thought that. This is when Doc's dishonesty becomes clear. He's going to misrepresent allegations and call them lies, when in reality, they line up pretty accurately to his own story.
I even used the word inappropriate, purposely. And look at how it was defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
Doc is straight up rewriting history. He's already described the messages himself.
I don't. And big ups, bro. Thanks for the question. No, I don't. I think that this dude deserves to be ostracized the same way YouTube ostracized EDP. The same way YouTube ostracizes anybody that gets accused of this stuff with credible evidence. You know? He doesn't deserve this platform to make millions of dollars, bro. He doesn't. None of these people do. They're committing crimes and genuinely harming people's lives. I would hope they wouldn't, Ronnie Blaze. But then again, you are correct. Money does talk very loudly. And anything with the right price tag can be swept up. And that's the big issue with the Hollywood entertainment. You know, everything is just swept away and everything's hush hush. But it's really it's Tatooine. It's a hive of scum and villainy. It truly is. But they masquerade as good people because they do charity work or they care about the environment. But nobody wants to talk about how Leslie Headland, the lady who just did The Acolyte, was helping Harvey Weinstein find women who he then assaulted. Nobody wants to talk about that, but let's give her $180 million to direct Star Wars. Makes sense. Let's turn Star Wars into a property for little children, little females, right? Little girls. And then let's put a woman who is a known wrangler of women for assaulters, for one of the worst. And let's just put her in charge of the entire property. It's abhorrent. And I can't believe half of this shit. I can't. It's like you grow up and you see these people and they're larger than life. But come to find out, they're lower than low. They're the truest scum in the entire world. Harming people and thinking it's okay. Ruining people's lives and thinking it's just another gig. It's horrible. It's horrible.
It's a moral wrong. In his initial statement, Doc says, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision to ban me in 2020. So
it's not the YouTube putting him back. It's not all of that. It's that he has small children. You know, and I don't want to put that on him because there's no evidence of it. But you were inappropriately messaging a minor. You have minor children. The question has to be raised.
Twitch really in the wrong when Doc himself describes the situation as a moral wrong that Doc as the adult should have had better judgment on? No, of course not. You should get banned for this. Doc is backpedaling this statement because it makes his audience feel better about watching him.
How would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately...
I've said some pretty corny shit trying to get the attention of women, but never once, a single time, in all my years on the internet, have I did this. So yeah, you can. You'll find weird, corny messages to women, you know, awkward pickup lines, you know, the traditional stuff, but you won't see me trying to snake a minor, bro. You're trying to draw an equivalency to people, you know, trying to get at somebody on the internet who is their same age to you trying to get at a child who's at least 15 years your junior. It's not the fucking same, homie. Not even a little bit.
Trying to find something inappropriate in those words.
I also have inappropriate messages on my phone, but none of them are to minors. I feel like we keep forgetting that key component here. Doc then tries to spin a narrative that his ex-partner manager was out to get him, and that's why he was banned.
We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And
how'd that work out?
Just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence? The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged.
Unless you think it's okay to sexually message someone who's under 18 years old, I don't see the relevance of this story. If you just don't send the messages, you don't get banned. Why is that so much to ask for?
LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate.
Okay, EDP, put into proper context, in what situation does it become okay to sexually advance yourself through messages on a child. Tell me, when does it become okay? At what point? Oh, it's out of context. Put it into context then. Because at no point will it magically become okay unless you're lying and she was 23. It's never going to be okay. And it doesn't matter what context you put it in. You were texting a minor inappropriately. This bitch, man.
Even when they aren't.
But you called them inappropriate, something that should have never happened, that you need to take more responsibility for. So which is it?
The NCMEC, Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement.
He acts like this is some big revelation. Twitch has to do this according to federal law. If Twitch finds inappropriate messages involving a minor, they are legally obligated to escalate it to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. If the messages aren't illegal, meaning no images or videos were sent, then nothing happens. It's a standard operation. Yet he keeps bringing up the legality as if the only thing people care about is whether it's legal or not.
The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not.
EDP wasn't charged. All these predators that are being caught out in public, being assaulted and getting their asses kicked by these predator poachers aren't getting arrested, but there's proof that they're doing it. Chance Wilkins has never been arrested, but we know for a fact that he's been messaging minors. Fucking White Bowser hasn't been arrested, admits to assaulting underage girls when he was an adult. In his place of business. Or at his job, excuse me. Come on, bro. Just because you're not arrested doesn't mean you haven't committed a crime. What kind of logic is this?
Not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received.
He thought this.
What's the age of consent in the jurisdiction in which you're in? If it isn't 16, then you committed a crime because you're beholden to the jurisdiction in which you live in, not theirs. It's like saying that people in Britain are beholden to the laws of the United States. It's just not the case. There are different laws for different jurisdictions in different states. Different states have different laws. So if your state says that the age of consent is 16, but their state says that the age of consent is 18, you're committing a crime.
This made him sound good. Again, this is an admission of guilt. He's acknowledging that she was a minor. Also, if these messages weren't sexual, then why would the age of consent in her state matter? Duck seems to spend a lot of time on that.
Exactly.
So then why did Twitch use these messages against me?
Because you sexually messaged a minor, and that's a terrible look for $1 billion company.
Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers?
They didn't. In 2020, Twitch started an initiative where viewers could report allegations about streamers, saying we take accusations of sexual harassment and misconduct extremely seriously. We are actively looking into accounts concerning streamers affiliated with Twitch and will work with law enforcement.
I didn't know they did this either. Again, big ups to Twitch. But now explain to me why a chick can get fucked on your platform and receive no backlash and doesn't even get banned. Well, for more than like a day.
Where applicable. During this time, over 70 allegations surfaced, leading to dozens of Twitch bans, like Zero, Nairo, Method Josh, and Shinshin. Dog is one of many streamers that got caught. He wasn't some special target by his manager. None of these other people were ever charged, and they all talk just like Doc.
Now, I need to make this very clear to everybody watching this video. I have never received explicit images from any underage individual. I have never sent explicit images to any underage individual.
Rule of thumb, bro. Never ask for anything until you meet them in person. And if they're states away, nope. If you can't meet them in person to verify that they are who they say they are, why are you doing that? Are you that desperate? At that point, just spend the $5.99 and go on OnlyFans, homie. I mean, like, what?
I have never made travel arrangements with ulterior motives with any underage individual.
But he did message a minor inappropriately.
Katie sarcastically asks him if he wants a girl that bad, to which he responds that he wants her. She questions him, but he tells her not to worry and fulfill his request.
Since they weren't arrested because text messages aren't illegal, they claim that they didn't do anything wrong. This is always the defense.
And trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person,
I didn't know about those
a
other
husband,
people.
and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place.
Are you?
Today.
Are you?
And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect.
Apparently asking a streamer to not message a minor, it's too much. It's demanding they be perfect. Doc would then compare what he did to someone who said the N-word.
They wanted to cut down the Doc. Plain and simple. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies.
He's black. He's black. If it's Dale, he's black. I'm sorry. At what point did it start to become racism for black people to say it? And what do you mean in a derogatory way? That's not all bad.
Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract.
The obfuscation is crazy. Doc, if you joked about messaging a minor, that would be fine. The problem is you actually did it.
Streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract.
That person belongs in jail then. But who are you talking about? Doc never names them because odds are his retelling of the story is inaccurate. Doc then cries about having to lay people off.
We just lost... fuck, man. Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
Again, it's all your fault. Am I supposed to feel bad?
And I'm not denying
That's
the
what I was
exchange
just
of
gonna
whispers,
say.
champs.
I was just gonna say that. Am I supposed to feel bad or empathetic for a choice that you made that resulted in a negative outcome? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize. That's it. I'm not saying anything more about any of this.
What about showing the messages?
People want...
Show the message. Release the messages. Show the messages.
But yeah, you want complete absolution, right? You want to absolve yourself of the whole situation. You're not willing to prove what you said is the truth. And yet, you have very, very, very serious allegations levied against you with very credible receipts, right? Now, whether or not this guy is on the up and up and reporting everything with validity, there is proof that you did this. You admitted to it. So disregard everything that they're currently saying. You deserve the negativity from the things that you did and admitted to. I don't have empathy for it. I don't have sympathy for it. You admitted it. And what kind of hypocrite would I be to say, well, he said that it wasn't this, it wasn't that. when I held Rich's feet to the goddamn fire because of pictures that he had in a Dropbox that he has hidden under a television, locked with 2-factor, bro. Prove it. It's the same with Rich. You don't want people to think you are what they claim you are. I don't know how necessarily Rich would prove it, but I'm going to need somebody that isn't his ex-wife or ex-baby mama to come out and say, yeah, this and that. Because Rich is weird. He's not being truthful. You're weird, and you're not being truthful, and you're standing by the letter of the law. Just because the letter of the law is defined a certain way doesn't mean you didn't do it, dude. You did it. You admitted it. Good fucking Lord. Yeah.
What are we in 2nd grade?
I don't get it.
Are
It would be
you?
the quickest way for him to exonerate himself. He makes it seem like the courts gave him access to the messages.
Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, a big-time arbitration, okay? And, you know, you discover a lot of stuff.
At this point, whatever NDA was in place has surely been broken, so show the messages, or at least describe them in detail. Show how they were taken out of context. He doesn't because odds are the messages are pretty bad. So what really is the truth behind Dr. Disrespect's ban? Well, with Doc's new testimony, we could actually paint a full picture. In 2017, while Doc was cheating on his wife, he messaged a 16 or 17-year-old in Twitch whispers. They may or may not have talked about meeting up, but everyone agrees that the messages were inappropriate and morally wrong to have with someone who was under 18.
Even I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs.
3 years later, in 2020, Twitch would launch an initiative where viewers could report allegations against streamers. Now, whether Doc's ex-partner manager encouraged the minor to file the report or not doesn't matter, because the messages exist, so Doc was banned and his contract was terminated. Contracts with talent tend to have a vague morality clause where if the talent does something deemed immoral, the company can terminate them. Doc sees this and he goes, oh shit, I'm about to be labeled a pedo, so he sues them.
There's a reason why we're suing the out of him.
He sues Twitch, and Doc takes the stance that he didn't do anything immoral because it wasn't illegal.
Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were illegal.
No, you know a person is a piece of shit when the only thing stopping them from doing something is the legality of it. Shut the fuck
now
up.
It's being argued between lawyers if Doc messaging a minor is immoral if the age of consent in her state is 16. If it's not illegal, how can it be a moral wrong?
That the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way.
Twitch may have realized that this is uncharted waters and a potential PR nightmare, especially if they lose, so they pay him out. And they come to an agreement. No party admits to any wrongdoing. So finally, after all these years, that's more or less the full
We got
picture.
415 dropped frames.
Fans that disagree with this analysis, link them to this timestamp. I am only citing Dr. Disrespect for these receipts. This is his story. So is he guilty? Yes. Is the reality probably worse than his retelling? Yes.
Fuck you and everyone who looks like you.
Doc's return stream surpassed over 3 million views, and this narrative that he purposely made himself look like a pedo as bait worked for him. His viewers have to be children. Someone explain to me how that makes any sense. They were all over Nick Merck's channel calling him a backstabber. Nick isn't smart enough to understand any of this.
Actual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
If this is true, if what he's saying is true right now,
it is.
Why does he not show everybody the whispers? I mean, it would be instant. Instant. Why can't we see the whispers? Because now he's saying that they're jokes. I mean, I make jokes all the time. And if I made a joke and people were saying that it wasn't, I would show everyone it's a joke. Confusing, man.
Pretty rational take. He's not showing the whispers yet because he's probably in the process of suing the out of them. Doc is not suing anyone, and Doc is never going to show anyone the messages.
Nope.
If they exonerated him, he would have shown them by now.
Vibe that I'm getting from Doc is that original tweet he had put out, he's backtracking.
Yes.
And in that tweet, he had admitted to sending inappropriate texts or whatever to a minor.
Homeboy, how do you get packed up by Nick Merckx? A dude that looks like he can't form a proper sentence. Bro, come on. How do you get packed up by the dude with no neck? The dude's probably the poster boy for CTE, and you're getting packed up with a fancy bow, my dude. That's it. Somebody call King Sly. We need packed out service.
Those were his words. Not mine, not Tim's, not whoever. Now, he later deleted this tweet. Personally, I don't think it changes much. I know his premise and what he's dying on is that what he did was not illegal. And look, I get that. But at the end of the day, you messaged a minor and it was inappropriate. For me, this is not about legality.
This is not something that takes a high IQ to understand unless you think Doc...
Bro, wasn't this like his number 2? This was his confidant. This was his fucking... This was his Obi-Wan. His Anakin. Bro, what the fuck? Are we witnessing Nick Merckx turning on Dr. Disrespect? What?
Doc should be able to sexually message 16-year-olds. He's in the wrong. This is not a backstab. Nick would respond to the hate, tweeting, "This retard Dr. Disrespect is married with children, pushing 40 and admits to sexting a minor inappropriately. His words, not mine. So I cut ties because obviously that's inexcusable. Now I'm a shit friend for not having his back? Bunch of brain rot morons on this app." A Doc fan replies, "A real friend would have called him and talked to him, man to man." Nick says, "I've said multiple times he sent a text to the boys and I apologizing for us being dragged into it. Regardless, it doesn't matter." Ninja, Tim's, Laner, they've all remained silent because once you take out the semantics, all Doc's response does is confirm the allegations. Yep. Even Myron, who defends Andrew Tate, has trouble defending Doc.
Like, yeah, this is fucked up. But I would say give him a little bit like text him on the side like, "Bro, let me see the messages."
Jeremy has been trying his best to defend Doc. He's basically had to make up parts of the video that don't exist.
The same employees also internally acknowledged that the messages were not sexual in nature.
What?
Okay.
Dr. Disrespect never even made that claim. I'm convinced that Jeremy never actually...
Am I gonna have to go and look up? Dude, I should start detracting Jeremy. Jeremy, you fat bitch, I'm coming for you.
Watched Doc's video, he read this guy's tweet, and then decided to upload his opinion. Classic Jeremy.
A toast to the bad guy. With bad bitches, the bad times will pass by.
In conclusion, Doc returning to a successful stream was always going to be the outcome. If Cody doesn't have the messages, and the journalist doesn't have the messages, and the journalist's anonymous source isn't even willing to state their name, well then that leaves the door open for Doc to backpedal his statement and rewrite the narrative. The only reason he admitted to anything is because he thought the messages were going to come out. I called this over 2 months ago. Everyone agrees on one thing though, if the DMs don't leak, Doc is going to be able to set the narrative for his comeback.
Is there some bizarro world that he gets more popular?
I don't know.
Yes, it's happened, all because these journalists couldn't lock down a shred of evidence. He streamed to 80k people yesterday. I am convinced Doc is guilty because his own retelling of the story is him being guilty. If you still want to watch him, that's fine. If you still like him, that's cool. But let's not defend what he did.
I think that Doc is existing inside of the scope of ambiguity, and he's not using specifics because he's relying on people's trust in him and charisma for people to assume that he did the right thing and he didn't do something wrong.
That'll be it for today. Subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out Meta PC. And
Bro.
shout out to the homies over on Patreon.
Bro, not only do you get packed out by the dude with no neck, but you get packed up by the dude with no hair. Well, at least Asmongold has cockroaches. But dude has no hair. Can barely keep the teeth in his mouth. Is lucky that he grew up with shoulders. Because if he didn't have shoulders, he'd just look like Cyrax. And you're getting packed up neatly with the bow. That was a good video. That was a good video. And I didn't expect my stream to stay stable for so long. That's another plus. Big ups up for all you guys coming out on this truly unscheduled, unprompted stream. This is nuts. I can't believe it, bro. How do you sit here and be like, yeah. No, bro. I don't get it. Semantics is all it is. Semantics game.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty, back again with another video. And you know we can't go a day without addressing WWE champions, and that's what this video is about. Our boy Phil apparently exposed himself. Not May 1st birth exposed himself,
May
but
1st birth?
exposed yet another lie. Just another lie. Now, you guys know that WWE champions and bank leaks go hand in hand. One of the things that detractors used to prove that Phil was down from the Raptors were the bank leaks, and how we were able to tie his microtransaction purchases to his day off when he wasn't streaming and so on. And the one thing that the bank leaks showed was that in an 18-month period, Phil wasted nearly $45,000 in microtransactions. Now, a good deal of those microtransactions were through the iTunes store. And of course, Phil contradicts the bank leaks being true by saying, why would he purchase microtransactions of WWE champions through the iTunes store? It doesn't make any sense. So the mere fact that the statements show that Phil has made a huge amount of purchases through the iTunes store just disproves the bank leaks. Well. Don't we have here Phil opening his big fat mouth yet again? Guys, you guys know my philosophy. If you want to know if someone's lying to you, just let them speak. Eventually, they're going to expose themselves. They're going to expose their lies. And he did. Big shout out to DarkSydeDrill Phil out on the Twitterverse. If you're on Twitter and not follow him, he's a good detractor. He always finds those little nuggets of truth to expose our boy Phil. And he caught this one from Raw Phil's stream. This was, when was this? The stream.
And I don't believe that. Oh, I was being shock jock with wings. It's like, bro, but you said this live to two underage girls. You were talking inappropriately with them, and you admitted it. I mean, there's serious issue with grown adult men thinking that it's okay to talk to children this way. What is wrong in your brains?
Was the 10th. This was 2 days ago. So this was the day right before the day off when he played WWE Champions that night. And we have Phil right here again, just exposing himself again for the lie. Right here, he disproved the lie about the bank leaks.
People want me to do it. I think it's $100 to do it.
All right, sorry. So here is Phil right here Phil exposing himself right here. This wasn't a tweet. This wasn't someone else stating this. This is Phil's own words, where he talks about the iTunes store. And what does he say? Let's hear.
People want me to do it. I think it's $100 to do it. It's $100 to do that poll. Let's see. That one you have to do through the game. This is a case where even though you don't want to, because you get good rewards from the store, they force you to buy this through the game. See?
What a dumbass.
You guys sure about this? We could do it, but that's it for tonight. After that, I am doing no more polls. Right.
After this, I'm not doing any more polls.
I think it's $100 to do it.
And then he goes on to beg for more money.
See. That one you have to
He is true trash.
This is a case where even though you don't want to, because you get good rewards from the store, they force you to buy this through the game. See? Well, you guys sure about this? We could do it, but that's it for tonight. After that, I am doing no more polls. All right.
Well, there you go, folks. Phil right here actually exposing the lie about not buying microtransactions through the iTunes stores. So all those transactions that we saw in the bank leaks, from iTunes stores weren't his. Okay,
Big
Phil,
ups.
if you say so. Right here we have Phil actually confirming that the best pools for the games come through the iTunes store. They force you to do it. And what did he do?
Oh, he didn't.
Actually purchased it. And being a whale, just...
Well, Swade, he didn't. It makes no sense for him to sell his account and then go and start an entirely new account. And then just continue to do the same thing he was doing prior. It makes no sense. And it would literally be a loss, like a giant loss of money. And Phil isn't the type of person to lose money. He's the type of person to find money and then find money and then find money and then beg for money and then completely go bankrupt and then continue to beg for money.
It's like Phil, right? Being the whale and spending thousands of dollars during tournaments and so on, he's going to want the best opportunity. He's going to want the best loot. So he's going to actually buy it through the iTunes store. It is. It just makes sense. So right here we have Phil exposing himself
bro.
Yet again, lying.
Dude, I'm so hyped
yet
for
again,
this week. I'm
and
getting
it's
a new
just more
desk.
confirmation that the
I'm
bank
getting an
leaks are
entirely
true.
new
I mean,
setup.
I'm like I said, I'm 99.999.
And then the next thing is a full computer, not my beautiful laptop here. That's been an absolute champ for like the last year and a half.
% sure that the bank leaks are real, and the only way that I will
simulated
change my
dumplings, you're
mind
right.
is, of
He
course,
didn't.
if
He
Phil
didn't
went
sell it. No
and
way.
showed his bank
No way.
statements for a month that would contradict the actual transactions that we saw in the bank leaks. But of course, Phil would never do that. He wouldn't even be willing to do that with a third party, a trusted third party. I mean, I laid the challenge out to Phil the other day and said, "Hey, Phil, why don't you get Kat? Because I'm sure Kat never sees his bank statements. Why don't you get with Kat, show her your bank statements, and compare it to the bank leaks, right? And then have her come on stream and confirm whether or not the bank leaks were true or not. How about you do that, Phil? I mean, you trust your wife, right? And I'm pretty sure your wife's seen your bank statements, so there would be an issue there, Phil. What would be your excuse now? Oh, it's too old. You can't access those bank statements. That's false. Yeah, for most banks, you're allowed to get information as far back as nearly 5 years.
And especially
you can
your
always call the
significant
bank and
other
get them to print out a statement. Several years ago, I was dealing with a tax situation where I was doing my taxes and I needed to refile previous years.
I didn't even
refile
know
previous years because
that
I
it
didn't
sold for
I didn't get a couple
that
credits.
much. I thought it was
should
way
have
less
gotten.
than that. Not even.
So what I did
1,000.
was I refiled my
Like 400 or
taxes, but I
500.
needed some statements going all the way
But
back to
yeah.
I think about 4 years.
Think of it. Phil tries to account for every dime, right? And tries to put into context every dime he spends. How would he justify spending $45K only to get 1,000 in return? Does Phil, okay, let's speak logically here. Does Phil seem like the type of person to take that deal? Just independently, Phil as a person, would Philip Burnell, would he take that deal? Would he give somebody $45,000 for $1,000? Never. Well, he says it was just 45. Exactly. He's greedy. There's no way he would give up that much money for that little in return.
Or 4 years prior to that, and I was able to get the
and that's just based on
from
who he
my bank
presents
with no
himself to
problem.
be as a person.
So, you know, you could do that, Phil, and prove whether
Am
you're
I gonna fight a
whether or
dragon?
not you're lying. But I'm pretty sure that you don't trust your wife, and there's no way your wife looks at your bank statements or even has access to your bank account.
Dude, I can't fly
we know
anything.
that. We know that's never the case. You probably keep your money separate from hers, and vice versa. So again, folks, here it is. Phil confirming that the best pools in the game have to be through the iTunes store. Yet again, exposing his lie that he doesn't make microtransaction purchases through the iTunes store. And if you guys haven't had a chance yet, and you go to the actually take a look at the bank leaks are just non-stop transactions from the iTunes store. And many of them were for $99.99, or they were actually $106 or $107, $106 or $105 with tax.
Definitely
and
looked
you
like
just
a
see that
boss fight
over and
arena right
over
here.
and
I don't
over
know
and
why there
over
wasn't
again
one.
on
I
Phil's
was wrong.
bank leaks. So anyway, big shout out to Narcside Phil for pointing that out and highlighting yet
his
again
unit looks
more
awesome.
lies from Phil, just proving once again that not only were the detractors right about WWE champions, but they were right about the bank leaks.
Look at Sheila
Anyway,
over there.
hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.
Okay, yeah, this is the one I wanted to watch next anyway.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy
Big ups,
Duty
Duty.
back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's late night stream where he is reacting to June the Kings documentary. That's right. And I believe this is the last part 5, where our boy Phil digs into, of course, the bank leaks, the Side Scrollers podcast, and some other garbage. Who knows? But this specific video right here, we're going to focus, of course, on the bank leaks. And my. You guys know that Phil already admitted to lying about WWE champions. And, of course, WWE champions go hand in hand with the bank leaks.
Oh, I
So
was
if Phil
blocked
lied
by
about
WWE champions
of
by
course,
asking them
he
if
must
they
have
put
lied
Phil
about
into the
the
game
bank
yet.
leaks. That's right.
He needed to
And,
be
we got about a
a
12,
pig star.
13-minute clip here segment where
banned
Phil
me.
is just coping over the bank
Pig
leaks.
star Phil.
And again, retconning his story yet again. The man has retconned the bank leak story 1,000 times. And he's come up with a new version of what really happened with the bank leaks.
Oh, you think
which
healing
he's
is
not
okay?
really calling the bank leaks. He's
Think this
calling
is a
it
game,
identity
bro?
theft.
This is real life.
So let's watch this clip. It's about 13. Let's see. It's about 12 or 13 minutes long. I'm actually going to speed it up. So give me 1 second here. Let me put this a little bit on faster speed because, you know, listening to too much Phil sometimes can give you a headache. So let's get into it.
Not enough.
It
And they
can
decide
lower
to
your
take matters
IQ
into
too,
their own
so
hands.
be careful.
Never good enough for these crazy conspiracy theorist nut jobs who want to hurt me, and now they've taken it too far. So thank you, Haseo, for 18 months as a member. This has been an interesting doc so far. I agree. Guys, please consider contributing. This is a normal, night stream for me, and I'm looking to hit the tip's goal to keep the King streak alive. I will still be here till the end of the doc, so we got a ways to go, but please consider contributing. Let's
That's
crush it
right.
tonight and keep it
Gotta-
going. Thank
gotta
you.
get
It's one
that
thing
begging.
Just literally saying, okay, here's conspiracies about Phil.
Gotta get
It's
that
another thing
begging.
committing federal crimes against me.
Yes, so someone just ran.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Because
Bro,
this is something
if
I
they
talked about
didn't
recently.
break into your
All right,
bank
I
account,
need-
there
I need to
were
talk
no
about it.
crimes
Yeah,
committed
I've already
against you.
addressed it, and well, let's play through it, and then I'm going to tell you all about it.
Randomly
Okay.
posted that they went ahead and accessed his bank leaks on using Bank of America, using their telephone, and reverse engineering his social security number to go ahead and figure out how to access. And Bank of America has an option where you can go ahead and repeat the last 10 transactions. He did that about 500 times.
This is to the point of now major repercussions, and I hope people understand that. Anyone who's talking about this, not knowing fully
This
what
is
they're saying
intense,
is true or not.
dude. He's
Yeah, thank you,
all
Dark
about
Knight,
it.
for 17
He
months
wants
as a
the
member.
hands.
Guess what? You're part of the problem, and you're part of the issue, and you are going to be held accountable too.
He healed
It's just that simple.
again.
You're part of it now. You're actually passing around stuff that should not be passed around, and you're going to be in trouble just as well. So.
Oh yeah, I love that video. I remember being on stream and Phil making these veiled threats to people about if you distribute this information, you're just as culpable as the person that committed identity theft. Why would anyone be culpable of fake information? You just
Exactly.
said right now, and you've said for the last 2 or 3 years that the bank leaks didn't occur. That's
Oh,
fraudulent.
he got me.
It's fake. That's not your account. So how exactly is anyone going to get in trouble for
On my
passing around
last
fake
heel,
information,
dude.
Phil? How? Can you explain that? And the other thing too, Phil, is that if it was fake, as you claim it is, why did you make such a big stink of it? Why did you come on stream the next day on your podcast and spent the whole podcast and your first playthrough talking about how you what happened to you with the identity theft?
I beat the shit out of
And
him,
it was
bro.
the other interesting thing that I'm going to point out here is the identity theft happened at the same exact day the bank leaks occur. So he was off. It was his day off. The bank leaks occur. He sends his message on Twitter
Am I
saying,
gonna finally see
"Oh,
a pilot?
yeah, something bad happened to me, blah, blah, blah. I'll talk about it on the next day." The next day he comes on with this, clickbait podcast saying he was identity theft. Someone stole thousands and thousands of dollars from his account. That's what he said.
He set off his
now,
core,
Phil,
bro?
if the bank leaks weren't true, why'd you make a big stink of it? Why did you even mention that someone hacked
chose
or
death,
took
bro.
money out of your account?
He took the
and
coward's
the funny thing
way
is,
out.
you're going to hear Phil actually retcon the story yet again. Another fucking retcon. He's going to talk about how it really wasn't somebody actually stealing money from him. It was apparently companies getting extra payments.
Yeah,
Makes
and companies
no
can't
sense.
do that.
0 cents. But
They
of course,
can't
all
charge
of
you
Phil's
for a
stories
bill
make
that's
no
not
sense.
there.
And he has to constantly change the story,
I
change
jumping
the
down here?
narrative, because when people
Well,
point out how
YOLO.
ridiculous he sounds like I'm doing, how I'm pointing out, wait a minute, what? You just said, when people point out the inconsistency, like he actually went on stream and started threatening people saying that if you distribute this fake information, right, apparently because it's fake, you're going to be held liable. You're going to be just as you're going to be held liable as the person that actually did the fake
We gotta keep
hacking.
our
Is that what
joints
you're saying,
intact.
Phil? And again, he just has to retcon things. It's just so like keeping up with him. And
they
people ask,
pulled
well,
an
why do you
Elden
do
Ring
daily
on my
videos or whatever?
ass.
Because his story continuously changes. Every single day, it's something different with this fucking dude. And he changes his story. And you sit there and you say, well, wait a minute. You were talking about this yesterday, and you said something completely different. Why are you changing it?
Just takes
right?
2 seconds of thought.
And that's the problem here, Phil. And you don't get that. Well, you know what? Let me give you some credit. I think you do get that. And that's why you have to constantly change your lies and come up with new lies, because you can easily poke holes through them. I mean, come on, Phil. Yeah, at least wait a week and think about a plausible excuse. You know, give it some time. Don't just
Plasma
have a knee-jerk
thrower?
reaction and come up with a lie and then start retconning it slowly.
This event would be known as the bank leaks. Charted, graphed, and described to the best of the user's abilities, the information from the bank leaks was added to the tips tracker as a separate page. Phil's supposed transactions from March 3rd, 2020 to September 17th, 2021, the day the user supposedly accessed Phil's account, are now archived for everyone to see it.
Over the last week, it has come to my attention and my knowledge finally that for the record, everything here that I'm saying that he's quoting has nothing to do with these bank leaks. I'm serious. Everything that I'm saying
It
is
makes
out of
no
context.
sense.
Everyone assumed
Just
that when
the
I was talking about
excuses
this
he
on stream
pulls
about
out of
these
his
bank
ass
leaks,
here.
it had nothing to do with these bank leaks whatsoever. I'm going to tell you the full story, the real story, because I can. But let's go. I have been subject to the crime of identity theft, a federal crime, by the way. I got a notification via email about someone messing around in one of my accounts, which then led me to research it. This is not the bank leaks, okay? This is something else. And find out that,
You see what I'm saying? This relates to the bank leaks, Phil, because you came out with this convoluted story the very next day where the bank leaks occurred. This wasn't a week later or the week before or a month later. It was one day after the bank leaks became public on Kiwi Farms is when you came out and you said, oh, I'm a victim of identity theft.
Yep.
That's the reason why it's tied together, Phil. Do you not understand that? Do you not understand why people tie your bank leaks to identity theft? So when people are talking about the bank leaks, they referenced it. But again, this is Phil trying to confuse the argument. Like, no. When I spoke to June the King, or this clip you hear of me, I wasn't talking about the bank leaks because, of course, they were fake. I was talking about identity theft. But again, Phil, the two happen at the same exact time.
That's too alien.
Let's keep going.
It does really fit this chassis, though.
At the same time, Phil gets a notification that someone has stolen his identity right at the same time the bank leaks come out and possibly trigger a failsafe. But due to Phil's own web of lies, Phil is walking a very, very thin tightrope. The reason becomes clear why Phil cannot right out admit that someone accessed his bank account. On several occasions, there are transactions that are only labeled as PayPal. Some only labeled Apple iTunes. They happen with such frequency, back to back to back, that it immediately becomes suspicious. And more importantly, they are all the exact same amounts. Several transactions of $11, $16.51, and $110.09. If you deduct the Washington sales tax from...
Hold on, my eyes are burning. I have to turn my air conditioner down. It's
My
too cold in
eyes
here.
are
My eyes starting to
burning.
burn real bad now.
Then he just
Got it on too high
completely
here.
sidetracks.
Sorry for the interruption. I had to do it. My eyes are really starting to burn bad. Okay.
These, you get a more rounded number. The $110.09 becomes $99.99, and the $11 becomes $9.99. This can be easily correlated with the packages available on WWE Champions. These in the pie charts are labeled as microtransactions and make up around 1/4 in his spendings. In these 18 months, Phil spent
No, and this insistence on Phil's part that a month of positivity and, you know, actual contribution from outside sources that aren't his normal, 5 people. Nah, it wouldn't prove the opposite, because 1 month of positivity doesn't disprove a decade of decline. Right? A sandwich shop can be on the decline for decades, right? But have one good day where everybody comes out and buys their sandwiches, or one good month where their sandwiches are the most popular thing in town. But there will always come a time where it returns to the status quo and it levels itself out again. And try as he might, it is going to happen. I don't think it would have changed a single thing. It really does prove the bank leaks.
Around $44,000 on microtransactions. These are not the
I
only
lost my
purchases,
train of
which shows
thought
his dysfunctional
in the
nature.
middle.
In September 2020 alone, the month the best streak ended, he spent $258 on alcohol.
Ooh,
These are all
Sheila.
reasons why Phil cannot state his bank account was accessed, because it would simultaneously prove that he is
He
an
looks-
alcoholic with a gambling addiction.
Which is, I mean, it's so ridiculous. I've already
It's
told
so
people I'm
ridiculous.
alcoholic, you know. But anyway.
I already
Again,
told
It's just so silly. They're like, so we can't say this because it would reveal this, this, and this. Well, I've already revealed to you that I play WWE Champions. I've already revealed to you that I spent a lot of money on the game previous. I've already told you the
Again, bro, but a month of telling the truth doesn't negate a decade of lying. You lied to your audience so they would give you money so you could play WWE Champions. And that's the problem. You told people that you were poor, that you couldn't pay your bills. And all of it, every single dime of it, went to that game. And it's proven. All of those tips that you begged for, all of it went to the game. It's ridiculous. And if it didn't go to the game, it went to alcohol. So when he calls you a hopeless and destitute fucking gambler with a hopeless alcohol addiction, he's telling the truth. And now I put a little salt and pepper on there, and I, put some words in there that he didn't say, but it's the truth. You're a narcissist, so full of himself that he can't see the shit in front of his face, man.
full story about that last night. But we're gonna go.
Exactly.
And we're gonna talk about this very soon. Let's keep going till the end.
I
of the segment, then
lied
I'm
for
gonna tell you the true story of
years,
what's going
but
on
now
here.
I'm telling you the truth.
Oh my lord. Okay, all right. I have to stop it right here.
Dude, I can't
Notice
believe
one
how
thing
heated
that
I
he didn't
got
do.
with,
He didn't refute those charges.
that
He didn't say no, that's
Dr.
that's
disrespecting.
ridiculous.
I didn't expect
I
to
would
get
never
so
spend
mad, but I can't stand
$258 in
lying
a
like
month
that.
on alcohol. No, that's crazy. Yes, I drunk, but I would never spend $258. He didn't refute the figure at all. He didn't refute any of these figures, which makes you believe that the bank leaks were accurate. I already know. I believe the bank leaks are real, so I don't need any.
Sure.
I don't need any convincing from Phil either way. I know what the story is. The gentleman that got his information was able to call Bank of America and was able to sit there with a phone teller, automated phone teller, and he documented all of the transactions for 18 months. That's exactly what happened,
Yep.
Phil. But again, you hear him sit here, and he just doesn't contradict these figures at all. He doesn't, which I find very interesting. Because the first thing I would do is, if someone said, "Oh, we got to do these bank leaks," and they post them, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get that information and refute whether the charges were correct or not. That would be my
Yeah.
first line of defense. I
And
would
then
say
I'm
no.
calling,
I got my
the
papers
police.
right here.
I'm
I didn't
gonna
spend anything on
get 'em.
alcohol for the month of
Fuck that.
October, and even show it. I'd be like, "Yeah, look, here you go. You
can't
can see
do
for the
that
month of
to people, though,
October,
for on
I didn't spend
the
anything
truth.
on any
God,
alcohol
I can't even
whatsoever."
fucking speak. Derp.
That would be the quickest way of doing it, Phil. But look at his face, just a nervousness, and he's like, "Oh, okay. I hope my lie comes off convincing." That's what this guy is doing here. Now, I'm gonna jump a little bit because it's just if you want to watch the raw footage of June the King talking about this, go ahead, or you can go to Raw Phil stream. I'm gonna jump a little bit here because Phil keeps interrupting and trying to. Oh, I went too far. Sorry. Okay, so he stops. All right, is this it right here? Hold on a second. Let me see.
And that is many emergency streams were only for the sake of raising money for microtransactions. Another layer of this is that Phil, if the bank leaks were fake, could easily disprove them.
Yep.
But the correlation between the bank leaks and his purchases are so tight, it seems he is
Wait.
unable to do so.
Wait. If the bank leaks were fake, he could easily disprove them. How? How could I easily disprove them? The only way to prove that a bank leak
I'm
is
curious
fake
to
would be show
see
you
how
my real
Duty
bank
would
account and say,
explain
see,
this
it's not
part.
the same one. Which then people could easily say, oh, that's fake. That's not really yours. You photoshopped it. Or you got it from somewhere else. How could I possibly ever prove that these bank leaks were fake? That doesn't make sense at all. There's actually no way to prove that the bank leaks are real or fake, because the only way to do that would be to show you my real information, which puts me at risk, and I'm never going to show you that, right? Never. So how that doesn't make sense at all what he just said.
That is what he said. yeah.
Alrighty, so I wanted to stop it there on that lie right there. That's okay. If you guys watched the Side Scrollers interview yesterday with DSP, what was the main point Phil harped on? Phil harped on Craig for not giving him the opportunity to prove himself related to the WWE champions. Phil yesterday said, no one knows this, but I'm going to say this right now. I was going to send Craig an email showing him all my information and explain to him what I explained to my viewers the night before, that I sold the account or whatever. But he didn't allow me to do that because he didn't check his email for 24 hours. That was Phil's narrative yesterday and his excuse, right? Okay. How many times has Phil said over and over again that he will never show anyone his WWE account information?
He wasn't
going to
send
who
him
it is.
anything, bro.
He's not going to show it because it's going to put his
family in danger.
His family in danger or put himself at risk. But yet we have him here yesterday
Give me a
saying
sec, guys. I'm gonna
he
take
was
a
going
dab
to
real quick.
release that information to Craig a year ago. Again, you see these fucking contradictions, Phil? Do you see the contradictions? Okay. So if you're willing to give Craig an email with your information to prove what you said was true, why couldn't you talk with June the King and say, June the King, hey, I don't want my information out there at the bank leaks. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do a Discord call with me, and I want to go through my bank. I want to go through my bank statements for 1 month. 1 month of that bank leak. So the bank leaks were 18 months. Just say, I want to, I'll let you pick 1 month for that year, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my statement and we're going to go through it and we're going to compare it to the spreadsheet. And you tell
ain't
me
wrong,
whether they're
simulated
accurate or
dumplings,
not.
because that's exactly
Right?
what he fucking
That's
did.
what you could have done, Phil.
That's
You could have
exactly
reached
what he
out to
did.
June.
He blamed in the interview between Phil and Craig. Phil blamed Craig. But if Phil had all this information, he didn't need Craig. He could have just released the information. But he didn't want to do that. So, yeah, you're right. He did use Craig as an excuse.
I am 1,000% sure that if you would have made June sign a document or something basically saying that he will not disclose any of that information, whether it's verbally or whatever, I'm pretty sure June would do that. June seems like a stand-up dude. You vouch for him all the time, so I don't see why June wouldn't do that. And I'm sure he would sign on the dotted line and make a promise to you that he would never divulge any of that information, right? You could have met with him on Discord, right? Because you said you were willing to give Craig your email, send him an email with your WWE Champions information, right? So that blows that bullshit lie that you'll never share any information because your family's at risk or whatever nonsense you say, right? And I'm pretty sure you respect June more than you do Craig, and you trust June more than you do Craig. So why wouldn't you contact June and say, June, I really want to clear my name. This has been going on for 3 years. It's bullshit. I need you to promise me, or I need you to sign something saying you won't disclose any of my information, but that we will sit through a month of my transactions, right? And you will vouch for me. You will vouch for me. I'm positive, I'm 100% positive June would have done that. And I'm actually going to send June a tweet asking him, would he have agreed to that after this video?
Yeah, I want to do a whole stream, or not a whole stream, but I do want to go over those videos that Broside Phil did. They're really good, and he talks to the police in Renton. If you haven't seen those videos, go watch them.
So right there, Phil, that's how you would have addressed this and improved it. That's how you prove what you're saying is true. And you could have met with June. You guys could have did a Discord call. He would have reviewed your information and said, yep, you're right, Phil. When I make this documentary, I'm going to say I met with Phil, right? He showed me proof that these bank leaks are incorrect, so they're wrong. And that way, Phil, you would have fucking redeemed yourself. You would have been able to point to the documentary and say, see, I told you I want an apology. You know what? And your boy Duty would have came on and apologized to you and said, you know what? The bank leaks were wrong. My apologies. I was wrong. I will stop talking about the bank leaks going forward. But again, you didn't do that. Why? Because the bank leaks are true.
He's guilty, yeah.
That's what it is, Phil. I mean, and you make no sense, man.
I do too.
It sometimes get a little overwhelming trying to categorize your lies. That's why I make so many videos on you, because you can always go back and see all your contradictions. So again, to recap, you're willing to give Craig sensitive information that can hurt your family, but you're not willing to do that to June. You're not willing to show him a spreadsheet or a screenshot of your financial data for a month and let June vouch for you. At that, I'm pretty sure that you could have told June, you can't divulge any of this. Even if you did see me spend a little bit on something frivolous or whatever, you can't talk about it. I just want you to look at my document so that you can vouch that what I said is true. And I'm 100% sure that June the King would have done that. But again, you know, can't do that. Got to protect the horse and the cat.
If anything, this he sent the bank statement to Craig. Exactly. Mr. Reliable. Send him to Craig, right? No, like, that's the...
There you go. Thank you. I'm glad I just stopped it at that fucking clip right there, because someone just said, you know, alluded to Craig and how he was willing to send Craig the WWE Champions information that for years he's talked about. Lawyers told me not to talk about it. He's willing to do that with Craig, but yet not willing to share any information with June the King, a man who he has praised for years, right? He's not willing to share any information with June the King to prove that the bank leaks were wrong.
The opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things that they're getting me with, right? The things that they get me with are things that, we got him because we're going to say something that we know the only way at all that he can disprove what we're saying is to open up information that will just hurt him further if we know it. So let's see if he's dumb enough to do it. That's exactly what's been going on in these situations, right? The WWE Champions thing. Man, I really hope one day he opens up his phone.
We were right about WWE Champions, though. We were right. We had you dead to rights, and you admit we had you dead to rights. Bro? Oh, he's going to admit to the WWE Champions, and then it's all going to be confirmed. Well, you admitted to it, and it does kind of confirm the bank leaks are true.
He shows us all his shit, and he's screwed, right? Man, bank leaks, yeah, we'll say his bank stuff leaked, and then he'll have to show his real account, and we got him again.
Here,
right?
let me turn it up a little bit for you guys.
What they want me to do. That's the
I didn't know
plan.
it was so low.
It's either
Sorry.
we besmirch him by saying the negative thing, or we tries to disprove it, we get the real information, and then we fuck him there anyway, right?
Idiot. God, you're an idiot. Did you not just forget your fucking interview with Craig? Where you admitted, or you talked about your master plan, where last year you were going to send him a fucking email with all your information against the wishes of your lawyer, by the way. Did you not fucking say that like a couple hours before this fucking stream, Phil? Again, just the utter contradiction in this guy. He just lies. He lies so much, and the problem, Phil, when you lie, Phil, the lie is always worse than the cover-up. The lie is always worse, or the actual crime. The cover-up is always worse than the actual crime. It just always is. And what you're noticing, and Phil won't acknowledge this, is that the problem your detractors have is the lying. They don't give a shit what you're fucking doing. I don't care that you're spending $150,000 on WWE Champions. What I hate is that you're lying about it, and then you're lying to your viewers saying you need money to pay your fucking bills, when that money's really just going to DoorDash, Gin, and WWE Champions.
That's exactly what this is, okay? So, all right, let's continue because we're almost done with the segment, and then I'll tell you the true story.
So, what he has done was just ignore it altogether.
Okay. I'm sorry. What he does here is he tells the true story. Hold on a second. I think this is it right here, where again he retcons the bank leaks yet again.
True. There's no risk at me saying this is also true. This is a horrible federal crime that happened to me, correct? But I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't true.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, he's lying.
Here's what actually happened.
Here's what actually happened.
I wake
Let
up in
me
the
lie
morning,
to you.
and I look in my email, and I got a notification. And the notification is, your account has been overdrawn. Now, to my knowledge,
this story is so bullshit. This story is so bullshit. If a company overcharges you or charges you wrongly, all you have to do is call them up and say, "Hey, you guys have unjustly charged me," or you put in a ticket or something. There are things you do. It doesn't mean that your bank was broken into. It means that somebody overcharged you somewhere, and you have to figure it out, right? But Phil, not wanting to do any work, just constantly has to blame everyone else, so it's everyone else's problem. He more than likely spent more than he thought and blamed it on a company, so Cat didn't fucking leave his ass.
I don't even have any money coming out of my bank account. All right? So this is not good. I'm like, what is going on?
Guys?
So I look at my bank account, and I see not one, but multiple payments are being withdrawn from my bank account, okay? From accounts that are legit accounts that I have, all right? I have these accounts. They're real accounts. It's not like someone found a way in there and stole the money. These are real accounts that have authorization that, you know, they can take money out of my bank account every month for various purposes. But out of nowhere, they are taking giant,
my God,
giant chunks of my money out of my bank account without my authorization.
God damn it, DarkSy, or DarkSydeDrill. I didn't want to see that, bro. That's a good drawing of Phil, but I didn't want to see that, bro. If you're curious what I'm talking about, go and look up DarkSydeDrill. He's the dude that does all the art. He did my art. He did Duty's. He made a funny picture of Phil on X.
So just imagine this hypothetical, because this is not actually what it was. But let's say there's a utility you have every month, and you pay a certain amount.
Yeah, I always find it funny. People are like, Duty's this, Duty's that. But Duty's the one that helped me get my art. I needed somebody to do a avatar for me. And Duty hit up DarkSy for me. And that's how I got my avatar. If I know where he is. Apparently he's not on this slide. But anyway, my alien avatar was done by DarkSy.
Every month, it's on auto pay. All of a sudden, that utility company takes $4,000 out of your bank account without your authorization. What the fuck?
So call them.
What's going on, right?
Call them. Like, there was one time, Crunchyroll charged me for a year of the service instead of the monthly payment. All I had to do was call their customer service and say, hey, you guys mischarged me. You give them the receipt number, and they refund the money for you. It took less than a business day for me to receive the $70 that they took, and they adjusted it to the $7.99 that it was supposed to be. All you have to do is call them. If it's wrong and they're taking that money, they will refund the money. They won't just keep it.
So
it's not like he was
and it
out
wasn't one,
anything.
it was multiple companies. And it all hit at once. So this was all done like on the same day.
And this isn't fraud.
And I'm like, how is this possible? All right. So basically, I contacted everyone. I contacted the companies. I contacted my bank account. I contacted everything. Come to find out, someone had socially engineered a couple companies, which I had accounts with. All right. The only real reason.
NECA really needs to... Dude, do you know that NECA was going to get the license to the DC comic book characters before McFarlane? How the fuck did McFarlane beat out NECA toys? I'll never understand it. He was putting out statues at the time. He wasn't even putting out actual action figures. It doesn't make sense. But comparing where McFarlane was in like the early 2000s to where he is now, his things have vastly improved.
Likely that people knew I had these accounts is either number one, because I'd already previously been doxxed, so everyone knew where I lived. So you kind of know.
It's his second form, bro. This is his first form, the begging man, right? And then his second form is DS Karen, where he calls up a company and literally bitches them out like a 40-year-old middle-aged white woman.
Where I am, you'll know, oh, this is a company that Phil may have an account with. This is a company Phil may have an account with because he kind of lives in this. You know exactly where he lives.
And you can guarantee he's calling the cops on every Asian couple he sees.
I almost suspect maybe perhaps some of it might have come out during the bankruptcy. I don't know. Like, it could have been information that was published in the bankruptcy documents. I can't confirm or deny that. It's just a guess. Like, how would you know that I have accounts with certain companies unless, you know, it was published in the bankruptcy, right? So anyway, all this money is coming out and going to these things without my authorization. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm overdrawn because two payments I don't owe. I don't owe these payments to these companies yet, but they're just taking all my money. So I talked to the companies, and essentially what they say to me is, so you're telling us you didn't call in and you didn't have this big conversation about this and that with the person on the line and tell them all this basic authorization information? No, not at all. wasn't me. So what happened was with the information that's been doxed about me. So you're talking about my name, my phone numbers, not 1, 2 phone numbers that have been doxed, my address, right? Basic info about me. These people were able to call in and actually impersonate me with these companies and socially engineer. It's not like, oh, they fooled an automated system. They socially engineered people on the phone to foolishly let these people have access to my account and make payment.
What? What? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense.
Okay? Now, I actually have no idea if they had access to the accounts themselves or if they just had some dummy do a payment over the phone, okay? But they did it regardless. So, number one, all right, one of the companies I refused to do business with further. Their behavior was actually completely unsatisfactory in the matter. I considered suing them, but I just didn't have the money to do it, so I just let it go, all right? The other company was very, very good working with me about it, and basically, we have now stuff in place. All the companies I work with, I have security codes, I have 2-factor authorizations, every company, so that way...
Bro, you can set all that shit up independently of them. You don't need them to do it. You just didn't want to figure out how to do it. And that's what annoys me the most about Phil. All of the problems in his life could be solved if he just figured out how to do it. Right? He could fix his garbage disposal if he looked it up on YouTube and just tried. There's no fixing the mold in his walls. That's a lost cause. He'll have that forever. But you can at least fix the garbage disposal. Maybe the toilet.
No one could just impersonate me and try to fuck around with my stuff, right? I mean, that's pretty messed up that they could do that. So I had to put all this extra levels of security on top of everything.
You should have been doing that.
Now, in the meantime, while all this was happening, I did call my bank account, company, my bank, and I explained, and they said, listen, you have everything on like auto. You need to basically get a new account because you have no idea. Maybe they're going to get access to other accounts you don't suspect, and they're going to try to take more money. So what they do is they just flag the account and shut it down. So my bank account got flagged and shut down. And what ended up happening was I had no access to any money for a while. All right. And
you know what this sounds like? He overspent and was purposefully going into overdraft, right? And they shut his account down because he would constantly go into overdraft and constantly try to continue to purchase things after an overdraft. So they're like, this guy is trying to defraud whatever they're doing. And they shut his account down. Because if I overspend in my account, they're calling me. Or they're putting a hold on my credit card. If I spend like $1,000 on my credit card, they're calling me. Be like, hey, do you know this, and that has been purchased on your card? Yes, that's me. Thank you. You have to set that kind of stuff up. You have to set that kind of stuff up. And I know for a fact that they're not just going in and paying your bills. And $4,000 to a company randomly? Maybe. But from multiple different companies at the same time? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You know, it just so happens that at the same time the light bill comes due and they charge you $4,000 for your light bill, the water bill comes through and they charge you $6,000 for the water bill. No, and of course those numbers are hyperbolic, they're not actual numbers, but it's not true, man. Just so happens at the exact same time this gets taken from this company, this other company also does the exact same thing. Bullshit. Fool me once, shame on me. You're not getting me twice.
Now, I have all these things set up that are auto pay. My mortgage, my car, my back taxes with the government, my tax attorney,
you're not getting
and other attorneys who I'm paying monthly. I'm doing all this stuff, right? And now I can't pay them. Because all
right, I was going to let him ramble on with this bullshit lie, but that makes literally no fucking sense, Phil. Your bank just told you create a new account, which you can actually do over the phone. Okay, you can't do it over the phone. You go into a fucking branch and literally takes 20 minutes to transfer your account information to a new account.
Yep.
And all they would simply do is just create a new account number. Then all you would need to do is you would just need to change your auto pay information.
Yep.
On your accounts. That's all you would do, Phil. I've actually had to
and you wouldn't even have to wait for your card. If it's a bank, like any modern bank, they would be able to give you a card right then and there, even if temporary. And then they'll mail you your permanent card or something. You know, you could just go in, get your stuff changed, and then be out the same day with brand new information. I don't understand at all what he's trying to say. Because it's
changed my account before.
It's bullshit.
I've changed my account. I made it a different account.
Yeah.
When I started doing YouTube, I created actually a separate account, right? And it's more of a business account. That's a high interest earning account because I didn't tap into that money. That literally took me 5 minutes to set up, Phil, over the phone. So the fact that your bank identified that this could potentially be fraudulent, that's the first thing they would have done, and you would have been able to make payments with no problem. At the very most, it would have taken you maybe an hour to get this shit resolved. And this nonsense about your payments being blocked and you couldn't send because your money was all tied up makes 0 sense, Phil. 0 fucking sense. The other thing, too, is that you stated that one company didn't want to give you the money back because of whatever. They were being, and you thought about suing them. Dude, all you had to do was contact your bank. Your bank would do an investigation, and then they would put the money back into your account. They would withdraw that money out of that account and put it back into your account, regardless of whether you owed it or not. If you didn't authorize a payment, your bank cannot submit a transaction.
Yep.
Those are just federal fucking guidelines. So the fact that Phil wants to come here and make you believe that, one of them were being difficult and I threatened to sue them, so I just let it go. I let them keep my money. Really, Phil? 0 fucking sense here, Phil. 0. Again, Phil, you can't think of a more plausible lie, something a little bit more plausible. And again, I'm pointing back to the fact that all of this happened the same day the bank leaks. The same exact day the bank leaks got published. Not a day before, not a day after, not a week after, not a month later. The same fucking day, Phil. So again, you're so fucking reactionary to all this shit because you knew the bank leaks were going to hurt you, especially because it did. Because if you remember those streams, for about 2 weeks, his dents didn't tip. They were pissed off with him, and he barely made like $30 a day. He was getting like a 1-minute man tip and like one other tip, and that was it. And he actually had to go on stream and fucking beg and cry and talk about how he doesn't play WWE Champions. That's all a lie. I need money to pay my bills, and then the tips kept rolling back in. So you knew it was going to hurt you. So that's why you reacted to it and came up with this cockamamie bullshit story that someone committed identity theft and stole thousands and thousands of dollars from your account. How much did Phil say? $9,000. How in the world, Phil? And then the thing is, he just admitted that there was no money in that account. How in the world did your bank transfer $9,000 to various companies?
Yeah,
most banks, what they do is whenever like I'll give you an example. If I spend more than $1,500 in a day, my account stops. It'll get flagged and it'll get stopped. Now, if it's one transaction, I'll get a notification and it'll go through. But if I'm literally like, shit's coming out of my bank account, I think it's about $1,500. That shit gets stopped. And I get a notification, and then I have to call my bank in and say, yeah, it's good, keep going, or no, that's fraudulent, someone's stealing my money. So the mere fact that you stated that $9,000 got taken out of a bank account where there was no money in it, because you just said right now there was no money in it, that makes no fucking sense, Phil. No one took any money out of your account. What happened was someone got your information, they contacted the bank, right? And they were able to get your transaction history for 18 months. And that transaction history showed that you spent $44,000 on microtransactions. And you spent probably another $6,000 on alcohol. So there you go, Phil. He keeps on trying to retcon this shit again.
Got him.
And say that, oh no, the bank leaks were fake, they weren't true. Dude, you got busted. And the mere fact that you didn't have enough, the mere fact that you wouldn't share your information with June, the king, because it makes you vulnerable and it puts your horse and your cat in danger is bullshit. Because earlier in the day, you talked to Craig and you said a year ago you were willing to share your WWE Champions information with Craig. So again, contradictions here, Phil. Contradictions that make no fucking sense. And let's not forget, folks, WWE Champions and the bank leaks His lawyer told him not to talk about it, and here he is openly talking about it.
Yeah.
So that was a lie as well.
So stupid.
See what happens here, Phil? When you
So
lie about
stupid.
everything, no one believes you. No one believes you. So, you know, the more you talk about it, the more your story changes, and the more you're going to get slammed. So I recommend, Phil, you just shut up about it and not talk about it. Of course, detractors will keep talking about it and mocking you, but again, it's up to you not to react to your detractors. But you can't do that because you're a Lolcow.
He's obsessed,
You're
yeah.
as bad as Cyrax, you're as bad as Wings, and you're as bad as Boogie. That's why, Phil, you are king of the Lolcow pimp. Anyway, that's all I have. If you want to watch the rest of it, it's out on Raw Phil's stream. Enjoy, folks. Peace out.
All right, guys. I actually have to bring the stream to a close. I didn't expect it to stay as strong as it did. I expected it to just go out completely. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I will see you tonight. Hopefully.